Okay, let's unpack this. You sent us quite a stack of fantastic resources here. Guides, articles, looks like even a workshop outline maybe.
Yeah.
All focused on practical English.
Yeah, exactly. Not the heavy theory, but the actual words you need day to day.
Right. And what's fascinating looking through this is how they all seem to bypass the usual grammar drills.
They really do. They head straight for function, for, doing things with the language.
Like buying something or asking for help when you're traveling.
Precisely. Or even just contributing in a work meeting. The core idea seems to be that confidence comes from using it successfully.
Makes sense. So our mission then for this deep dive is to pull out those essential phrases, the key strategies these sources are highlighting.
Yeah, give you the tools, the immediate takeaways.
So you can feel more confident stepping out and using English in those everyday situations.
Let's do it. Where should we start?
How about shopping? It's something most people do, right? And the material covers quite a bit.
It does. Everything from just browsing
Yeah, just looking.
to actually buying and even, dealing with problems if they come up.
And the approach seems, very direct. Focus on the core questions.
Absolutely. Simple phrases, often combined with pointing or holding up an item, they stress that clarity.
Right, like the absolute classic, how much is this?
Yeah.
You just point politely.
Exactly. Direct, understood everywhere.
And if you need a different size.
The sources suggest, do you have this in size medium? Or maybe the broader, do you have this in a different size?
Again, simple and clear, especially if you're holding the item. Context is key.
Now, what about haggling? Or, maybe just asking for a discount.
Yeah, the sources touched on that too. Things like, is there a discount if I buy two?
Or just a simple, do you offer a discount?
And one guide I noticed actually put a little note, wink, optional.
That's brilliant. It shows they get that real interaction isn't just words, right?
Totally, it's about the whole exchange.
And importantly, they also cover when you don't need help, that polite brush off. Oh yeah, I'm just looking, thank you. Essential for avoiding that feeling of being pressured.
Definitely. Okay, so you've picked something out. Time to pay. The sources emphasize clarity here too.
Crucial step. Instead of just, waving your card.
Ask clearly, can I pay by card?
Right. And with things changing, they included more modern phrases too, like, do you accept mobile payments?
Good point. Keeping it current. And I like the tip about asking for a receipt.
Did I get a receipt? Yeah, they framed it as protecting your purchases.
Which is smart. You might need it later for returns or exchanges.
Exactly. And speaking of returns, the guides didn't shy away from those trickier situations.
No, they tackled problems head on. But stressed, staying calm.
Yeah. Phrases like, this doesn't fit, can I exchange it? And again, a little note, a smile helps.
Always good advice. Or something's actually broken or faulty.
Starting calmly with something like, there's a problem with my purchase. Then explaining. Keeping composed was a big theme.
So connecting this to the bigger picture, these phrases aren't just about transactions.
No, not at all. The sources argued they give you control. You're articulating your needs.
You're not just passively hoping the shop assistant guesses right.
Exactly. And that sense of agency, that control, it transforms the whole experience. Makes it smoother, less stressful.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense for shopping. Let's shift gears to travel. Another area full of potential language hurdles.
Oh, definitely. And the material covers quite a range. Airports, stations, hotels, just navigating a new city.
It seems like they treat travel as a series of logistical puzzles.
That's a good way to put it. And language is the key to solving them. Finding your gate, checking in, asking for directions.
Right. So at the airport or station, basic navigation is key.
Absolutely. Where's the boarding gate for flight 123? You need that.
Or on the train, trying to find a spot. Is this seat taken? Maybe point to it.
Yeah, pointing helps avoid confusion. The guides mentioned that. And planning connections might need, how long is the layover?
Good one. Okay, then you arrive in your hotel, check in.
Simple lines are best here. I have a reservation under name.
Or if your name's tricky, or you just prefer.
Just, I have a reservation. Keep it straightforward.
And once you're in the room, maybe you need something extra.
Common requests like, could I get extra towels? Totally practical.
And you need to know when to leave. What time is checkout?
Essential info saves hassle later.
What about just getting around, finding food, managing daily needs?
Crucial stuff. The sources included things like, is this dish spicy?
A potential lifesaver, as they noted. Save your taste buds.
Definitely. And for directions, asking, could you show me on the map?
And they suggested using your phone map plus a smile makes that interaction easier.
Yeah, visual aids help. Needing cash is common too.
So, where is the nearest ATM? A must-have phrase.
For sure. And understanding travel time, how long does it take to get there?
Useful for taxis, buses, even just figuring out walking times from a map app.
Exactly. But sometimes you just get stuck or you don't understand.
Right. And the sources made a really big point about asking for clarification or help.
Yes, like, can you please speak slowly? But asking it kindly. They stress that.
The big one. I'm lost. Can you help me?
They called that a really powerful sentence and emphasized not being afraid to use it. People generally want to help.
So this brings up an interesting question, doesn't it? How much smoother does travel become with just these basic tools?
Immensely smoother. The sources practically spell it out.
Yeah.
It's a difference between, travel chaos and a smooth experience.
Being able to voice what you need or that you're confused.
That's the key. It gives you security, independence, even when you're completely out of your element.
Okay, great insights on travel. Let's move to the third area, the workplace.
Yeah.
An office environment.
Right. Different context, different needs, more focus on maybe professionalism mixed with collegiality.
Yeah, the resources definitely covered that balance. Things like meetings, interacting with colleagues, even the inevitable tech problems.
Clarity and politeness seem key in the phrases they highlighted for the office.
Like in a meeting, if you didn't catch something.
They suggested, could you clarify that point? Polite, professional.
Or simply, could you please repeat that if you just missed it?
And if you need time to find an answer,
The classic. Let me check and get back to you.
presented as a really responsible way to handle being put on the spot. Better than guessing.
Definitely. And following through is big in an office setting.
So phrases like, I'll follow up by email, or I'll send you an email, show you're taking ownership.
And simple status updates.
Just, I'm working on it.
Direct tells people what they need to know.
What about scheduling? Things always seem to change.
Can we reschedule the meeting? Polite, professional way to ask for that adjustment.
Makes sense. But it's not all formal tasks, is it? Building rapport matters.
Absolutely. And the sources included those small talk essentials.
Like, how was your weekend?
Or, got any plans after work? Just those everyday connection points. They build team cohesion.
True. And then there's technology.
Yes. The bane of many office lives. The guides anticipated this. Like, the Wi-Fi isn't working. Could you help? Universal cry for help.
Pretty much. And one source even suggested adding a bit of humor, like saying, my laptop crashed again. Maybe with a laugh.
Makes it relatable, doesn't it? Takes the edge off the frustration.
Exactly. So overall, these office phrases help you navigate professionally, communicate clearly,
And build those important working relationships, all while sounding confident.
allowing you to focus on the actual job, not struggling for the right words.
Okay. So we've seen all these useful phrases for shopping, travel, work, fantastic stuff from the sources. But what does this all mean? How do we actually, put them into practice?
Right, that's the crucial step. And the sources were really good on this. They didn't just give lists.
No, they had actual plans. I saw something called the real world mission.
Yeah, brilliant concept, really practical. They broke it down.
Into like a 3-day challenge.
Exactly, super achievable. Day 1, use 3 shopping phrases.
And they said even just in a small convenience store counts. The point is just to do it.
Right. Day 2, practice 5 travel lines, maybe at a local bus or train station, lower stakes.
Good idea. Get comfortable asking. And day 3,
Test out some office talk with a colleague if possible.
or DA. And I love this suggestion.
Practice in the mirror. Just saying the lines out loud builds confidence, muscle memory.
Definitely. And there was a bonus tip too.
Yeah, recording a voice memo at the end of the day, just talking briefly about the phrases you used or tried to use.
Sort of reviewing it in English helps cement it.
Exactly. Active recall.
But underlying all this practice, what really stood out woven through all the material was their core philosophy.
Yes. The big one. Don't aim for perfect grammar. Aim for clear and confident speaking.
Why is that so powerful, do you think?
Well, it directly tackles the biggest fear for language learners, right? The fear of mistakes.
Totally. Perfectionism can be paralyzing.
And the sources argue, look, getting your message across, even imperfectly, is way more valuable than saying nothing because you're chasing some impossible standard.
So prioritize communication over linguistic perfection.
Precisely. It makes the whole idea of speaking every day so much less daunting. You build confidence through successful communication, not flawless grammar.
That reframes it completely. It's about connection, not correction. So this deep dive, looking at all this material, it really shows a pathway, doesn't it? A shortcut, maybe, to using English more confidently in real life.
It really does. It's not about suddenly mastering the entire language.
No, it's about strategically grabbing these specific high-impact phrases that unlock common interactions. Shopping, travel, work.
Yeah. Getting functional quickly.
And I guess the final thought here, the really provocative idea that seems embedded in this whole practical approach from the sources.
Go on.
It's that language isn't just this, academic thing you study. It's a tool.
A tool for action.
Yeah.
For interacting directly with the world.
Yeah. So by focusing on these simple functional phrases and finding the confidence to actually use them daily.
You're not just learning English.
No. You're empowering yourself to connect, to navigate, to get things done.
One clear, confident sentence at a time. It's about agency, really. Using language to actively shape your experiences.